So, Sydney.
Yes?
I know that you've expressed interest in the past in potentially adopting a dog.
Yeah,
right? Okay, I'm correct in thinking that?
Yeah,
well,
correct.
you know, I just wanted to let you know, make you aware of the fact that there are other options out there, other organisms in need, other little companions that you might be interested in adopting just alongside that.
Cats, hamsters.
Those are all viable options. I was just wondering if you're interested in maybe adopting a stog. So I've got the stog application form here, so I've just got a few questions that I hope you don't mind me asking you. I'll launch right into them. Do you have any prior experience with fire hybrids? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. How comfortable would you be with holes being dug up on all available surfaces of your home? Does that sound good to you? Well, okay. Yep. Great. Okay. We'll move on to the next. Do you like the sound of, or do you find the sound of a synthesizer soothing at all times of the day and night? I'll take that as a yes. And finally, will you be okay with keeping the monster's existing given name, Matt's Little Helper?
Matt, are you trying to pawn your stog off on me?
Sydney, you gotta help me. I mean, like, it was so cute, the little eyes, and then all of a sudden, I'm forced. Happy Monstering! Coming to you live with living color and sound! Welcome to My Singing Monsters Live, episode 29. Thank you so much for bearing with us as we worked through some audio issues right there at the beginning. But you know what? That cold, or should we say fire open, was too good not to serve up to you guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm Monster Handler Matt.
And I'm Monster Handler Sydney.
And as I mentioned, it's episode 29. So thanks again to Monster Handler Sam for coming in to the rescue there and helping things out. Let's give him a paw.
Monster Handler Sam.
Let's give him a paw or a claw, as the case may be. And what an exciting day in the monster world it has been. The very first fire element rare was discovered for the first time today.
Yes.
And it was revealed as
Rare Stog.
It was Rare Stog. So we'll be talking a little bit about fire monsters today and rare monsters in general. We've got a couple of housekeeping things that we want to talk about right off the bat. So we'll let you guys know all about the giveaways that we do on My Singing Monsters Live. So the first one that we do is the subscriber giveaway. We do that at the beginning most of the time of our episodes here on My Singing Monsters Live. And how that works is that if you're a subscriber to our channel, that means that you are able to be entered for this giveaway without even needing to be tuned in to this particular episode. So
you're automatically entered every week.
That's right. So Sydney, tell us a little bit more about how you can become a subscriber to our channel.
Well, you can subscribe by making a Twitch account.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you have Amazon Prime or your parents have Amazon Prime, you automatically get a Twitch Prime subscription that you can use on any channel on Twitch, which you should definitely be using on our channel.
The Monster Handler channel, as I mentioned.
The Monster Handler channel.
Coming to you live with living sound and color.
Wow.
So we do that giveaway, and then we also have a giveaway that runs the entire episode, and that's reserved for people who are tuned into this episode.
Yes.
And all you need to do in order to be eligible for that is go into the chat on Twitch and enter in the text field !raffle. RAFFLE.
So do that now if you haven't already.
And then you'll automatically be entered, and we pull that name right at the end of the episode.
And Matt, what are we giving away for the general giveaway this week?
For the general giveaway, we will be giving away a rare stog. A rare stog.
So if you haven't been lucky enough to breed one yet, this could be your chance.
And you've got all weekend, but why not sit back and hope that luck and fate shines upon you today, and you will be the recipient of our Rare Stog winner. And for our subscriber giveaway, so the first one we're going to draw today, you'll be getting a cool 100 relics to spend as you wish.
I think that's a hot 100 relics.
It is a hot.
Red hot.
Oh, you're right. Forget cool. Today's episode all about fiery things, and the temperature is heating up here in the booth. So, Sydney, correct me if I'm wrong. You have the subscriber winner that has been randomly selected?
I do have a subscriber winner, and that is Tabis the Noob.
Ah!
Or maybe it's Tab is the Noob.
Tab Chad is the noob. Well, congratulations, Chad is the noob.
Please, yeah,
Oh,
go
go ahead. No, ladies first. Ladies first. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show here, Sydney.
Well, thank you. Please whisper. Oh, jeez, my hair. Please whisper message us your friend code in My Singing Monsters on Twitch so that we can deliver your 100 relics next week. And thank you for subscribing.
Very exciting. Now, Sydney, from usually speaking, you are in the chat.
Yes.
You are typing responses to
today,
everyone. But today here you are.
So who's in the chat?
So who's in the chat? We've got Monster Handler Eric in the chat.
Say hi, Eric, in the chat.
Hi, Eric in the chat. I said it. And we've got Monster Handler Michael, who is our camera operator today, and he was doing his darndest to get us.
He was helping save the day.
There he is.
There he is. He's in Composer.
That's the look of someone who knows that they've tried their best.
Yes.
And you know what? We got there in the end, so it really doesn't matter how we got there.
Yeah, we're here, and that's what matters.
And that's what matters. Okay, so we got Michael, we got Eric, we got Matt, we got Sydney.
We got them all. We got
All
the teams all here.
Yes. So, and one last thing that I wanted to mention.
Yes, very important thing to mention.
As I mentioned, this is episode 29 that we're currently coming to you live
Matt
on.
checks out.
From New York City!
No, not from New York City, from Canada. We don't need to specify anymore.
Oh.
No, all of Canada. We broadcast from the entire country. Everyone knows each other in Canada, right? It's not that big.
Yeah, Canada's only like this.
It's only that big.
Right?
Anyway, so today is episode 29. Next week will be our 30th episode of My Singing Monsters Live. So
30's the new 20.
The big 3-0.
The big, as Eric would say, or Michael just said, the big 3-0. The big 3-0. I'll be the big 3-0 soon.
Wow.
Monster Handler Matt is 29 years old. You heard it here first.
So this is
29 years young.
so this is my champagne episode.
Oh,
Right?
yeah,
It's
nice.
29 on 29.
Congratulations, I didn't get you anything.
You're taking my stog after this, so it doesn't matter.
Matt's little
Yeah,
helper.
I'm giving you Matt's little helper.
So
Anyway.
tell me more about the 30th episode.
So we're doing something a little differently for the 30th episode in that it's not going to be on the Friday, the 31st. We're going to put the 30th episode on the 30th day of May.
So that is a Thursday.
That's right. So it's going to be a little different next week, but because it's the 30th, I'm sure that you'll want to tune into this very special episode of My Singing Monsters Live because we'll be doing all sorts of exciting stuff.
Yeah, it'll be another very exciting
in
episode.
recognition of
So just
30
remember,
episodes.
30th on the 30th.
And we'll make sure to put out some social media
Yes, we'll put out reminders
to you that next week is going to work a little differently. But yeah, so that's how it's going to work next week. So make sure that you clear your schedules Thursday, May 30th.
And it will still be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You got it. Okay. So I think that's about everything
All
in
the
terms of housekeeping.
Yeah.
You know, make sure if you haven't already to enter in for our giveaway of Rare Stog using exclamation point raffle. And let's get on and let's talk about fire monsters and let's talk about fire rares.
Yes.
So
Very exciting topic.
for a long time, it was presumed that rares were a form of monster that was bequeathed only to natural surface monsters, to ethereal monsters, and in some form or another to the supernatural box, and also, of course, to seasonal
Yes.
monsters. So there were 4 classes of monster that had previously been designated as being able to be rare. Now, fire monsters, in my mind, are sort of they're children of 2 worlds. You see, they are equally can be considered natural monsters because fire is a natural element,
Yeah,
but
I see that
fire is
question a
also
lot.
a special
Yeah.
element, right?
Because I do see the question a lot. Are fire monsters naturals?
Yes and no,
And no.
because they're more special in some form or another.
But
than
not
just
supernatural.
You're running. That's right. More natural, not supernatural. Good distinction.
Extra natural.
Good distinction, Sydney. So it's interesting because these fire monsters exist sort of in 2 categories at once. But of course, fire rares are especially exciting because in the past 6 months or so, or maybe it's even a little longer now, it's more like 9 months, I suppose, we discovered definitively that fire monsters did not go extinct as previously suspected, but in fact that they were just in hiding
Thank goodness.
in Fire
Thank
Haven
Galvana.
that's right, in the underground subterranean network of the monster world. Just taking it easy until it was time to finally
Relax.
emerge again, triumphant and glorious, and rekindle fire in the world above. So, rares. They exist.
They do. Since when?
Since when? That is a very good question, and we're not precisely sure. So, you may recall that the teachings of Dr. Warden E. Spurritt helped us to identify that maybe there were more than just common and rare out there, that there are in fact epic forms of monsters as well. But Dr. Warden E. Spurritt, being the intelligent guy that he was, had long since theorized that there were multiple different forms, more diversity in the monster world than had been previously imagined. So, when exactly rare monsters began to appear as divergences of the main common lineage, we're not entirely sure. Was it before the collapse of the continent? No current evidence suggests so. This could be something that evolved in response to the specific new habitats that the various monsters lived on,
Okay.
or perhaps the fossil evidence exists and we haven't discovered it yet.
Well, get digging.
We're not.
Get Stog to help you dig.
know,
Get
it's-
Matt's
it's-
little helper to
it's
help
hard.
you dig.
That's a good point. You know, maybe I've been going about this all wrong, and that Matt's little helper, the Stog,
Made for digging.
you know, I've been seeing the digging sort of as a nuisance, but maybe I just need to direct that monster's energies towards a worthwhile archaeological pursuit.
You just gotta change your perspective.
I gotta change Matt's little helper's perspective. He's digging up all my begonias. Anyways, right. So, rare monsters.
Yes.
The cool thing about how rare monsters came to be discovered in the first place over the course of monster handler history is that back in the good old days of 2015 and 16 was the
When
first.
I was born.
That is not true. You are older than that, right?
Oh no.
Or are you one of those time traveling people?
No, that's Michael.
We've long suspected that monster handler Michael is a time traveler, but we'll get into that later. But we'll get into that some later episode. He claims to have lived in every country of the world and at various times of history. We'll mention some event from antiquity, and he'll be like, "Oh, it's a sunny day," ah! And then we'll catch him. We'll catch him in the falsehood. So why that hasn't come into play more often in our own monster handler experience. There he is. He's saying, I don't know. He's
Putting on an innocent
Bobbles.
face.
yes, that's right. He doesn't. Bobbles could be bobbles,
Bobbles.
right? But what was I talking about?
Back
in
in
the
2015.
day.
Back in 2015, when you were born and when Monster Handler Michael was a time traveler, was the first time that we did the teasers for new monsters that have become a staple of our social media presence ever since. And many users certainly had a lot to say about the rare Stog teaser.
A lot of people thought it was a rare Repetillo.
Oh, you know what?
The round
those
eyes.
well, yes, the placement of the eyes I think would have been, I think that was a guess based on evidence that was presented. But what I've done is that I've gathered some of my personal favorite rare reveals, as I'm calling them, from the antiquity of My Singing Monsters social media, and I just want to revel in them. I just want to
That's okay.
revel in the reveals.
I'd love to
You
see
just
them.
want to pat yourself on the back, eh?
I'll do it
Well,
for
I
you.
wasn't going to say anything, but you know, back in the day, that was one of my duties as a monster handler, was to create these particular graphics. So,
And there they are.
and there they are. Michael, are they up on the screen?
They are.
Were they up on the screen before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were talking about it so people could see them. but
Okay,
now
well,
you
good.
can explain
Now I've launched right into them. So,
Let's get to it.
Sydney, do you know which two monsters are being teased in these
Well,
images?
On the left here, I see rare octopus.
Yes, very good.
And on the right, I do believe that is a rare Shelby.
Very good. Now, on the left-hand side, can you name the decoration that is being
Ooh.
used?
Cozy cabin.
Very good.
Thank you.
That is the cozy cabin that Rare Octopus, being maniacally inventive and sort of a mad scientist personality, was using
I
as
think
sort
it's a
of
glad
a
scientist.
base of. Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
As a base of operations for its various experiments. And there's light emanating from all of the windows and doors. And you can see at that time we didn't, we had never seen a Rare Octopus's little sort of special tendril there. And neither had we seen the silks atop its head. So that was brand new. And then on the right hand side, as you mentioned, we've got Rare Shellbeat, which we can see the shell of that particular quad element water boss up there in the upper right hand corner. There are also some drumsticks that are being hidden in this scene.
I do see a couple drumsticks.
And
not
there's
the ice cream kind and not the chicken kind.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
but the percussionist kind.
Yes.
And you can see one of the water island fish observing a very special pearl that has been produced
Yes.
by Rare Shelby. Now, would you like to know behind the scenes?
I think it's an in front of the scenes detail. That pearl looks very familiar to
What
me.
is it, Cindy? Can you
do
recognize
believe
it?
that is
Chat knows.
Yeah, I do believe that is a gassed orb.
Oh, you're wrong. It's definitely a pearl that has been produced by the Rare Shelby. Yes, at least for the artistic license that I took for this particular post. It is a repurposed plasmic orb from Gast.
Gotcha.
So there's no pulling the wool over this
A
gal's eyes. Oh,
Willoughby.
Willoughby. 50% off this weekend
Oh, isn't that nice?
in Dawn of Fire, both the adult and young forms. So there you go.
What a great sale.
It is a good sale. You know, Willoughby, one of my all-time faves.
Love Willoughby.
And here we have a couple other of my favorites. Now, can you identify which monsters are depicted in these reveals,
Well,
Sydney?
on the left here we've got a rare Drumpler, which I do believe is very near and dear to your heart.
Oh, yes it is.
And then on the right, I'm gonna say that is a rare Noggin.
Very good, yes. So here on the left-hand side, we can see Drumpler lurking in the dark shadowed forest of Plant Island with a bread trail
I didn't notice the bread.
along the path to communicate Rare Drumpler's love of cooking, evidenced by the fact that it has replaced its own drumsticks with a fork and a spoon.
I love that you do not share.
I do love food.
You love food, but not cooking.
Well, oh, that's right. No, I like eating food. I don't like making food.
Yeah.
But of course.
Unless it's craft dinner, yes.
But of course, Sydney, why is Rare Drumpler near and dear to my heart? Pray tell.
I do believe it has
Watch
to do...
yourself. Be careful. Be careful how you describe this.
I do believe it has to do with the shape of its head.
Is it the tall forehead on Rare Drumpler?
I didn't say nothing.
Well, I'd like to think that in some small part that was inspired by my own sizable forehead. but then on the right-hand side, we have, as you correctly guessed, it is Rare Noggin, who has architectural aspirations, and so here it is, imagining itself to be made into these different structures. Now,
Yes.
the classic post and lintel form that appears on the... Michael's doing something in the background, and I don't know what he's doing.
I have an idea
I
of what he's
think
doing
I know
here.
what he's doing. But
Before we move on
but
to
we've
Rare
got the
Noggin.
but we've got the Michael, what is it that you'd like to do?
Just
I was
getting
saving it for a surprise.
just getting a close up here of that formidable forehead.
Well, you can't really see it. It's obscured and in the dark in this particular image, isn't it?
You can get an idea.
But of course, the extra eyes were sprouted in response to having that much extra real estate upon the head of that particular
Don't worry, I'll get Noggin back.
monster. But yes, all I wanted to talk about for before we moved on is the post and lintel format
Yes.
there that is indicative of an architectural style of a famous landmark in England. Do you
Must
know?
be Big Ben.
No,
Gotta
which one?
be.
Which one is it? Do you think I'm referring to?
The bridge.
No, it's not London Bridge, you ninny. What is it?
The Ferris wheel.
I'll get
Yeah, it's gotta be the
The
Ferris
London
wheel.
Eye.
the London Eye. No, all right.
Is it the tube?
Oh, this teasing. Oh, this teasing. No, it is
Buckingham Palace.
It is of
Oh,
course
duh. It's gotta be the palace.
Stonehenge, which
Nogginhenge.
was an inspiration for another famous place in the monster world, in monster antiquity.
Starhenge.
Starhenge, you got it. So I just
Got it.
wanted to bring that. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that there was a monstrous letter upon that post
Yes,
because
there was an R.
that was part of our monster
Oh, this was
puzzle.
supposed to be a hook.
Our monster puzzle of collecting the different letters, and it spelled out Tribal Fire because this was still in the lead up to the discovery of Tribal Island.
That's for a whole others.
So I just wanted to share some of those my favorite moments
They were very
of the
cool.
rare reveals in Monsters History Past.
I do like rare reveals.
Yeah, so do I. I think they're pretty neat.
Yeah.
Speaking of reveals, would you like to reveal to me what we're going to be doing next, Monster Handler Sydney?
Well, I think we'll be getting to some questions so you can reveal
My own knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
So thanks everyone who sent in questions so far. You can put in questions in the chat, or you can put questions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, with the hashtag #MyStreamingMonsters. So let's get to it.
Okay.
First question, we have a little visual aid that comes with this one. This comes from Stride Spider, and they ask, how come the same birds that appear on a wallaby's horns or antlers are in My Singing Monsters even though there is no wallaby around? And this question has been asked by many, and visually asked by Ruben here with a very nice drawing.
And the caption, clearly alive and need each other. Now there are two possibilities, Ruben says here. Some other creature took the place of Wallaby, or Wallaby is still alive. Now, both are good theories. Certainly, the presence of Wallaby's birds would suggest that its symbiotic partner, Wallaby, is somewhere kicking around the monster world.
Out there somewhere.
It's out there somewhere. And as I mentioned, so far as we can tell, all of the fire monsters from the Dawn of Fire survived into current day, living in the subterranean system.
They must have just gotten separated somehow.
They must have gotten separated somehow.
How, we don't know.
But we haven't yet really heard from Wallaby since the rediscovery of Firehaven.
We keep listening for those strings.
That's right.
Or perhaps
the dulcet tones of that monster, but the search continues. So I think that the community is definitely correct in identifying those particular birds as being one and the same species that shares a symbiotic relationship with Wallaby. Where is the Wallaby monster? We don't know. We don't know.
There you have it. Speaking of Wallaby's birds, sounds like a lot of you guys like the new spin wheel design that we've implemented, so we're glad to hear that.
Yes, we collected a lot of feedback over, I think, a little over a year it's been since the spin wheel was first introduced as a feature that replaced the old scratch ticket. And, we had lots of time to read through your comments and see, well, how can we make this a better experience for everybody? And there you go.
Glad so many of you like it. Glad so many of you are getting some jackpots. Seeing a lot of
Indeed,
screenshots.
the top prizes.
Yeah. All right, next question comes from Logan Peters 89. How would fire monsters be able to diverge into rares under such environmental pressures like living in the volcano underground?
This is a very good question, and I feel like we began to muse upon this in the earlier discussion. Did fire rares spring into being before they took refuge underground in Firehaven? Was it something that took place over the course of their subterranean existence? Not entirely sure. Looking at rare stogs specifically as an example, for those of you who have read the bio, prepared and researched by our own monster handler, Sydney, one of Rare Stog's special abilities with those peculiar peepers of its is to perceive the world around it and in sort of a beautiful, spectral, color-filled, luminous experience.
Yeah, it sees everything as sort of visual sound waves, if you can visualize sound waves.
So I have to imagine that underground, light not necessarily in abundance, I wonder if this was something that was developed underground as some sort of form of echolocation. But it's like
it's dark under there.
It's like photolocation instead of echolocation. Maybe because it's able to perceive small trace amounts of lights, that's how it was able to sort of navigate through the underground tunnels.
Very fitting for a singing monster.
And of course, with its sort of gecko-like feet, which are different from the more regular hoof-like feet of the common stog, I wonder if that means they could also crawl up the sides of cave walls. We haven't
Who knows?
We haven't necessarily observed that in action, but every time that there's something a little different about a rare monster than a common monster, I have to suspect that it takes advantage of that in some way.
They must. They're all resourceful. All right, our next question comes from Delango Kitsune, and they ask, for the rare stog, are the 2 extra eyes useless, or do they somehow connect to its actual vision? Also, does rare stog have 2 other eyes on the other side of its body, making 6 eyes in total?
I can confirm that there are 6 eyes in total, and, well, I don't mean to my own horn, but this would certainly support my earlier theory that eyes are being used to navigate around low light environments. If it has eyes,
That would
not
be
on the
very
back
helpful.
of its head, but on the sides of its body, so that it's able to
Sort of
navigate
almost 360.
low light environments a little better. Michael, do you have any theories about this?
What about his back?
What about a back? So far as I can tell, the eyes are confined to the front
Rounded to the shoulders.
and onto the shoulders of
As far
its
as we've
four-legged.
seen, it could have some closed eyes, maybe on the back of its knees or something that we haven't seen.
Or perhaps at the tip of its tail. None that I have
None that we've
observed. I
seen.
believe 6 is the number of eyes that we've been able to observe being used by Rare Stog up until this point.
Yes. Next question comes from Isaac J114. Isaac J14. I added a 1. How do stogs grow their plates as they age?
So, we'll need to refer back to the prehistoric record here for Dawn of Fire when we observe young stog in its native habitat on the continent. At that point, the stog's plates more resemble embers that are emerging from a sort of a craggly area along the monster's back, and they're in single file sequence down its body. When it transitions into its adult form, it has alternating plates, so sort of placed at diagonal positions one from another, which is inspired in no small part by one of the leading theories of how stegosaur plates were arranged.
What a coincidence.
I think, now, I'd have to double check. Now, I've previously said that I'm a dinosaur person, but I actually don't know what the latest is on this. I feel like there is some fossil evidence that suggests that they were side by each and that they weren't staggered.
Are you
like
being an
that.
armchair archaeologist?
I am being an armchair archaeologist, but
Wouldn't it be a paleontologist?
yes, in this case, or a paleobiologist in this case, not
Okay.
only looking at the bones, but in fact how the animal lived and breathed. But so far as I know, those embers on the stog specifically, over time, sort of rupture upward, not unlike tectonic plates during some sort of earthquake or when the two plates meet, and they sort of like emerge up out of the crust, if you will, of the stog's back and form those large crystalline structures in their diagonal positions.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Connor Garrett 5. Was Flala always grumpy?
Always grumpy.
Didn't
That
have
that monster. I don't
Kinda
want to
born
call it.
that
I don't
way.
want to call it an attitude problem, but I feel like that monster thinks it has something to prove. It wants to make sure that it's tough. Maybe
Tough guy.
maybe its resemblance to a sunflower, which is traditionally sort of a nice, bright, smiling, friendly thing. I think maybe it has something to prove.
Sort of like a rebellious teenager.
Yeah, bit of a wants to entertain, perhaps bit of a reputation of a bruiser, but we all know that
It's all talk.
There's yeah,
All
it's
bark and
that's
no
all
bite.
show.
Yeah. All right, next question comes from Ryan Wilson 346.
Mm-hmm.
Can Tring's crystals be extracted for rock candy, or does it need them to stay healthy? Tasty rock candy.
The crystals that appear on a Tring's back are present from a very young age, and I think they help to, at least when the Tring is very young, counterbalance some of the sort of front heavy quality of its
Right,
its
it's
rather
buff.
muscled arms.
And then little eggs.
That's right, and there's only 2 very small little legs, so the monster is sort of doing a little bit of a balancing act in its young form, and then when it grows up into its adult form, it's got even more crystals on its back. So at that point, I think the monster takes up more of a quadruped stance, or it's sort of simian, sort of gorilla-like in its particular stance, and it's got those much larger forearms than it does hind limbs. In terms of the rock candy, I've never tasted what a Tring's crystals
It'd be pretty bold to
taste
try.
like. I feel like you'd have to get permission.
Oh, of course.
You got to make sure that you're not offending the monster.
You wouldn't go lick
in
your
question.
friend's back.
I don't think that they're necessarily able.
A little smooch.
A little smooch on the crystal, maybe, but I don't think that the crystals can necessarily be detached in that way. I think they're actually sort of part of the living
Anchored with
monster.
them.
Yeah, they're anchored on the monster itself. But I don't really know. Now that fire rares are a thing, that may be the case for the common Tring. But there's still a whole subspecies out there waiting to be discovered.
Who knows
So
what
we
their
don't-
crystals will be
So
like.
we don't know. We don't know.
More research needed.
But again, always ask permission before you lick someone's attached crystals.
Yes.
A good
What
one.
do you think? 2 more questions?
I think that's a good idea.
All right. Next question comes from Gav Boyo.
Okay.
And this is actually very relevant to what we were just saying. We know that pankos skip leg day, but do trings skip it too?
No.
You see those suckers?
No,
Swole
trings, despite the fact that they are smaller, I think that's a physiological thing. It's not because they have under-trained those legs. It's just part of that particular monster's physique.
Trings still hitting the gym, top to bottom.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think that they're just sort of like naturally muscled. I don't think they have to try too hard at it. Some monsters are spindly, like Shrub. Some are big beefcakes,
I'm a
like
beefcake.
Tring. And
Yeah.
and
Beefcake, very relevant for Tring.
and some and some like Rare Potbelly really work at it, right? It's got those abs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Washboard abs.
You got it.
All right, last
Last question.
DudeCraft4 asks, is there any chance the monsters on Firehaven could leave the volcano and visit other islands? And if there's no way for the non-flying monsters to get around, maybe the flying monsters could carry them?
As I mentioned, it's been some time since Firehaven was discovered, and we know at least Glowl has been to the surface to sort of poke around, look around, say, hey,
Very helpful.
things are still cool up here. Maybe it's time to re-engage, to reinitiate contact with the rest of the monster world. So, while there doesn't appear to be any migration or any movement just yet, I feel like there are some stirrings among the monsters inhabiting Firehaven and the surrounding tunnel networks that maybe it may soon be time to go exploring and to visit the other areas of the monster world.
Very interesting. Wonder what they'll find.
Yeah, but I don't know of any specific plans that have been drawn up yet, but I hear whispers, I hear rumors.
Well,
We'll have to keep an ear to the ground.
yes.
Or an eye to the tunnel if you're Rare Stog.
Or 6 eyes to the tunnel.
6 eyes to the tunnel.
All right, well, thank you for answering those questions. Before we move on to a little stumpage.
Trivia, please.
Well, last week we started running a community poll.
You're right.
We did. And what was that poll for?
That poll was to determine which of the 2 t-shirt designs
Very
the
cute
community
t-shirt
wanted
design.
to see included as an official My Singing Monsters piece of apparel on our Amazon store.
Yeah, one of our awesome Monster Handler artists made 2 variations of a very cool design. You guys voted on Facebook. We got, I think, upwards of 400, I think, votes.
Close to 500.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And now, without further ado, we have the winner.
Michael, cue it up.
Boom!
Da, 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 da. It is in fact.
The Music Note t-shirt has won.
That's right, with that didn't have the paint drips.
Yes, this one, simple, clean monsters with a big paint splatter at the back and then music notes everywhere. And this one won by a landslide.
So the community has decided. So, Michael, when can we expect this t-shirt to be uploaded to our Amazon store?
I would say probably Monday.
Oh, that's soon?
And then.
Oh, I thought you were going to say later than that.
No,
That's
no,
great.
Monday it should be up.
Okay.
And then I would say it'll probably percolate up there, but then within the actual store, being able to easily find it, probably like
So
Yeah,
sometime next week.
Yeah, we'll post about it when it's ready to go.
Well, then that's not very long to wait.
Yeah.
That's great.
We just have to wait for Amazon to approve everything for our store, so that's why it has to percolate a little. But yeah, we'll post
Like
about
a
it.
coffee.
Yeah, we'll post about it on Facebook and Twitter when it's ready to go. So thank you guys for voting.
Yes.
And let us know what you'd like to see on a t-shirt. Tell us in the chat,
Yeah.
because we'd love to make some more.
Maybe we'll make it.
Yeah. All right, now, shall we move on to some stumped
Yes,
trivia?
yes. Some
I wish
trivia,
Eric was
some
here to
trivia
say stumped.
questions. Well, you know what? I'm sure that he's doing a bang-up job of writing stomped in the chat for
I'm
today's episode. So, all right, Sydney,
All right, our first...
Be good.
Excuse me?
be good
Okay. Our
to me.
I will try. Our first question comes from Awesome MSM Gamer. And their question is, what is Flowa's mystery like?
You see, the key to stumping that is to go back in time.
To the
This
dawn
is
of fire.
Well, no. This is
Sure,
actually a
technically,
fire
I guess
haven.
it's
New-
This is a
newly-
fire haven.
Newly.
Yes, monsters only have wants. Factoring the air of on a fire, not likes. So this would be something on Fire Haven.
Couldn't be.
You know, I don't know.
I'll give you a hint.
Oh,
It's
Hint is good.
It's sort of the name of it sort of has to do with the gravity of Flowers' general expression. Flowers' general
Demeanor?
melancholy. Yeah.
Oh dear. I'm gonna say, is it the tub fountain?
Tough. No. Stumped.
What is it?
Stumped. It's a bottomless pit.
Oh.
Very dark and sad. The bottomless pit.
Yeah, that is sort of moody.
So, super stumped.
Throwing stuff down the bottom. All right, 0 for 1. All right, what's next?
Maybe you'll get this next one.
Okay, I hope so.
This is a very good question. So, shout out to Rub V for this question.
All right.
In Dawn of Fire, purchasable diamond and coin packs all have a specific name. One of those titles appears both in coins and in diamonds. Which one is it?
That would be the bowl of coins and the bowl of diamonds.
You got it.
Ah!
I wasn't expecting you to get that.
50%.
Winner can young.
Well, you see,
Holy
as
cow.
a user engagement specialist here at Big Blue Bubble, I'm always keeping an eye on which special
so.
offers and promotions are available to My Singing Monsters and Dawn of Fire
So.
players. So there you go. What?
Any special offers or promotions this weekend we should know about?
There are.
We know about Willoughby.
There are
In Dawn of
40%
Fire?
more in all diamond packs in My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire, and in My Singing Monsters we've got 30% in all diamonds pack, except 60% more in the featured pack, the treasure chest, which was far more than enough diamonds to get the rare stock right out of the gate.
Very
so
helpful.
I'll just mention that.
And thanks to everyone who has bought diamond packs or anything else in any
It's a
of
great
our
way of
games.
supporting the monster handlers.
Every purchase helps to support us so we can make more for the game.
That's right.
So thank you. All right, so you got that one. Don't get too excited.
Okay.
Next one comes from Desi Doo Doo Doo, and they ask, when did the special episode that featured the phrase "Bigify" come out?
Ooh.
When?
I remember the episode, but not the number.
But you should have
What's
a
the
general...
date?
Yes, they want the date.
November 22nd.
Final answer?
Yes.
November 21st, 2018.
What? It was the
Stumped.
same day as the release? It wasn't a Thursday episode?
No, because remember we did a preview of the thing.
We did multiple
Oh,
episodes
rats!
of Firehaven, yeah.
Rats!
Yeah, tisk tisk.
Oh, I was so confident about that one,
You
too.
were very confident.
All right, down to 33%.
Stumped.
All right, fourth
Okay.
question.
Stan42 asks, what are adult flowers made of according to their description? More blank. Actually, there's multiple blanks. So they're made of more something, something, something.
More grit. More chutzpah. No, what is it? What is it? I don't know.
You don't have any other guesses?
Okay, more thorns. More bramble. Do I have more thorns at least?
You have more thorns.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
give you that. There's
More
two others.
more muscles, more thorns. How's that? All right, that's my guess. More muscles.
You got 2 out of 3. It's
Really?
more thorns, more muscle, more grouch. However, I'm still gonna label that as a stump.
Oh come on!
Especially because
that's a passing grade. I got 2 out of the 3.
well, your initial answers were chutzpah, and I forget what else.
Yeah,
but-
something else. We can go back and look at it later.
Yeah, that
All
was a
right,
tragedy.
fine. Okay, so am I going to try and be able to get my 40% here with one final?
I'm
trivia
not doing
question?
math, and there's multiple more questions
Right now
here.
you're at 25%, so you could get 40.
Okay, all right. So let's round things off with this final trivia question.
Okay, you want one
'cause
more question?
I do want one more question.
Okay. Logan Peters 89 asks, what monster takes up a 2x2? Oh, I remember this question. This is very good. So, what monster takes up a 2x2 space as an adult, but takes up a 3x3 space when it is younger?
An inverse of the usual.
I think I know what it is.
This is a very good question. What monster takes up a 2x2 space as an adult, but takes up a 3x3 space when it is younger?
Wouldn't happen to be a celestial.
I ain't telling you nothing.
I think. You know what? I'm gonna play the community's game. Today we're talking about fire rares and fire monsters. Who's the celestial of fire? I think it's Furnos.
I will say.
I think it's Furnos.
I will say.
Final answer locked
We
in.
don't always put in questions that were asked today.
No, but I'm feeling good about this particular one. All right,
Okay.
Furnos.
Furnos?
Yes.
Final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes!
That was a great question.
Ooh, thank you, Logan Peters, for helping me achieve my 40% success rate in Stumped Trivia.
All right. Well, we've answered some questions. We've
So
done
before
some
you
trivia.
proceed, Sydney,
Uh-huh.
before we get to monster pieces,
Do you know what time it is?
I think I do know what time it is. You know what? I think I'd like to give you a taste of my own medicine, and we're going to revive a very popular feature from an earlier episode of My Sing Monsters Live, and we're going to bring back Spicy Sydney. Spicy Sydney returns, baby! So there's the flames.
My favorite.
That's right. So,
Spicy
what
Sydney.
we've got for you here today is
Something spicy.
I've prepared some trivia questions of my own, but
Why do I always get interrogated?
The caveat is that while you answer those questions,
That's a big pepper.
you will need to munch on this spicy pepper.
Okay.
So
Is that a jalapeno? Jalapenos aren't
you know
so
what?
bad.
You know, by all accounts, it certainly looks like it's just your run-of-the-mill.
Jalapenos are a fairly mild pepper.
Right,
it's
on the
a big
scale,
one, but-
on the Scoville scale, it's not that bad. So
Yeah.
why don't you start munching on that, and I'll.
All right, how much of this should I
The
take a
whole-
bite?
Oh, the whole thing,
The
of
whole-
course.
All right, that's gonna take multiple bites, but
Of course.
All right, it's a bit of an odd one, but all right, here we go.
Are you ready
I'm
to
ready.
answer some questions?
Yes. Okay, I'm going
Okay.
in for my first bite here.
Okay. In you go. Okay. First question.
Wait a second. I see something suspicious in there.
Got her. We got her. So what we did, because we're ingenious, is we hid.
What is this?
We hid
Oh, I
a.
just got a little crunch at the bottom.
We got
I'll put it back
a
in.
Thai chili pepper and put it inside a jalapeno.
Well, so far
So-
I've only had a little bite of it, but
Well, guess what? You gotta keep going there, Missy.
Okay,
and
all
you
right.
know, we gotta ask you some questions.
Okay.
So here we go. So first question. Barb's eyes. Left to right. Orange and purple or purple and orange?
left to right.
Yeah.
Her left. Barb's left.
Our left.
Okay.
Looking
I'm getting
at
some
the
Thai
left.
chili here. Okay.
Oh, I can feel it.
I can also smell it. It
Yeah.
smells great, but
Yeah.
but it's also I'm feeling the heat.
I
coming
definitely
off
got my
of spicy
first bite
Sydney.
of the actual red
Sydney,
pepper.
you're stalling.
Okay,
What
okay.
is the answer?
Purple on the left, orange on the right.
Say that again.
Purple on the left, orange on the right.
Wrong.
Okay.
So we
I tried.
stomped. Stomped.
You like saying that?
I do.
I prefer
Munch.
stamped.
Munch. Oh, right.
We don't talk about those people.
Yes, human expert, Matt.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so what does Growl gain in its transition from youth to adulthood?
A third tail feather.
Yes, she's got it. Correct.
Someone say winner, Gagnon.
Winner
Thank
again,
you.
yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, number 3. Can you spell the instrument, the human world instrument upon which Flugel's name is based?
Say that again, please.
Can you spell the human
heat's
world
locking
instrument
these.
upon
It's
which
getting very hot.
Flugel's name is based? There's also seeds
Yeah, there's seeds.
erupting.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. The
and then
instrument.
you have 10 seconds to answer.
Okay.
Can you spell the instrument, the human world instrument upon which Flugel's name is based? 10, 9, 8,
A
7,
horn of some kind.
6, 5, 4,
A flu.
3 and a half.
A flu horn.
3. No, spell it. Can you spell
Oh,
the instrument?
I don't know. I don't know what the instrument is. Oh.
Stomp. Definitely stumped. It's
What is
based
it?
on a flugelhorn,
Oh.
which is like a trumpet, and that's spelled F-L-U-G-E-L.
Well, let me try to spell that. Oh, well, never mind.
Stomp. You can't try.
I wouldn't have spelled it right anyway.
You can't try. Okay, so you got one. All right, here we
all
go.
right.
How many fingers and toes on a flower?
Okay.
Combined?
Yeah, in total.
I just want to clarify for
No, that's a good. That's a
Try
good.
for her to
It's
think
good
about it.
clarification. It's good clarification.
10.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wrong. It's 12.
How many fingers does it have?
It's got 4 fingers on each hand.
That's
I'm
what I thought.
counting the thumb.
Yeah, I thought it was 4 fingers too. How many
Yep.
toes does it have?
2 on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stomp. Spicy Sydney. Come on, Spicy Sydney. Okay,
Rats.
so I saved the best for last.
Look at all the seeds in this guy.
All right, are you ready?
Hot stuff.
Yeah, I can tell.
Are you ready? How you doing there?
It hurts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you're putting on a brave
burns
face,
my
so
tongue.
so
Thank
I'm
It gets
impressed.
worse as I go.
Spicy Sydney, this you know, okay.
Cap it off for the end.
Cap it off, yeah. So really, yeah. So
You want me to
you
go?
know,
Okay.
yeah. Eat the whole thing, and then you got to answer the last
Alright, alright.
question. All right. Munch, 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 munch. Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's all gone. There we go. Okay, acceptable. So here we go. What is the irreducible fraction you can get?
Mm,
Michael, I am asking my
is
question.
concern for my safety.
Nope, that doesn't matter. What is the irreducible fraction you can get if you put Repetillo's number of legs as the numerator and the number of Repetillo's arms as the denominator? What is the irreducible fraction
This is easy.
you can get?
This is so hot. Okay. If it's
Nice, she's suffering.
If it's irreducible. Sorry, the legs are the numerator.
The legs are the numerator and the arms are the denominator.
Okay, I think it has 4 legs as the numerator. But then the denominator would have to be an odd number,
No.
wouldn't it? No. Okay.
What's
okay.
the irreducible fraction you can get? So I will explain. You're going to get a non-irreducible fraction, then you have to turn that into a reducible.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
You didn't think today was going to be a math lesson, but look at all
But
that.
it is, and I know Sydney loves math, so I wanted to throw something in there for her.
I hate this. Okay, I think it has 6 arms, but I'm not sure, so that would be 4 over 6 divided by 2 is 2/3.
Correct.
Ah!
Winner, Daniel, and consuming the hottest part of Spicy Sydney. So are you gonna make it?
Yeah, but it hurts. Every
Great.
breath hurts.
Well, with respect to it hurting, you know what will probably soothe you?
Some Monsterpiece?
Some monster pieces.
I'd love
So
that.
Michael, why don't you cue up the monster pieces and let's take a look
All
at
right.
them, shall we?
Okay.
Here from Mezzo Monstro, we
So-
have something quite elaborate.
It's an RPG-inspired Danny Do, so they kind of look like an archer or a rogue.
Wow, I love that.
I love its hairstyle.
Oh, I love the cloak. I love the quiver of
Very
what's that,
dynamic.
arrows on the back.
What kind do you think it's a ranger?
Yeah, it
Yes,
could
definitely
be a ranger.
ranged, definitely
Yep.
ranged attacks
Yep.
here.
I like its toes as well.
Well done, Mezzo Monstro.
Next up by midnight is a rare Glowl prediction.
Oh, I love that. You know what?
3 tail feathers.
You know what? it's been over a year, so I'm prepared to say it. This reminds me of what happens to a certain large mythological creature once it is raised from the dead and becomes a bad guy instead of a good guy in a certain popular TV program.
Don't
And-
spoil.
It's over a year old.
All right.
That's not spoilers. That's like saying that Anakin is Darth Vader.
I never knew. I will agree with you. It certainly looks Night King inspired.
It looks
Like
like
it is a minion
it
of
now
the Night
has
King.
blue fire
Yes.
instead of regular fire.
All right,
oh, I
this
love
next
that.
one is very cool. It's from Olivia Owl 7891, and it is a prototype for a clock that they're making.
Oh, I love it, and it is designed in the semblance of the fire element sigil.
Yes.
Oh, I love
Very,
that.
relevant.
Oh, I'd like that in my home.
Maybe you should make one.
That's lovely.
Next
wow.
up by Ruben is this rare stog prediction.
Oh.
Based, of course, on the teaser that we saw where there were 4 eyes visible.
Yes, this sort of taking a rare dandy-do approach of having 2 heads, but instead we later revealed that, of course, the eyes appear on different parts of the
Yes.
monster other than its
We
face.
tricked ya!
That's right. But this is still an excellent work of art, Ruben, and certainly aligns with all the available information at the time. So well done. We love this.
Next up by Sprixie, this is their monster design called Celestar, the space element monster.
Whoa.
Very beautiful.
Very neat.
Yes, love this design. I could definitely see this in a game.
Definitely very space-like, very cosmic.
Yes, I love this very much.
I
Very
also
pretty
like
colors.
I also like the way it's framed in those sort of like blocks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Next up by
Oh.
Amazement Island, we have Common Geode as Common Deej and Rare Geode as Rare Deej.
Wow.
This one was getting a lot of attention on Twitter. It's very cool.
I really like that. They've done an exceptionally good job of dressing up one monster like another. Michael, what you got to say?
I want to see more mishmashes like that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
more please.
Yes. So
Send us your fan art on post on any social media platform and use hashtag MyStreamingMonsters.
Amazement Island, you've started a new art challenge, a
Yes.
trend.
Congratulations.
Yes, trendsetter. All right, up next.
By
from-
Backpipes.
Ooh.
It's Oraculele and Rare Oraculele.
that are having a strum off.
Yeah, Araculele looks a little concerned, but very cute.
Yes, or a little bashful. It looks like Rare Araculele is the one that's really leading the charge on this particular musical interlude.
Yeah, maybe Araculele has stage fright. Very cute. Love their faces.
Next up, from Delango Kitsune, we have...
It is one of Willoughby's birds from the spin wheel.
Yes.
Very cute.
And the arrow that indicates which prize is won on the brand new spin wheel. A very faithful recreation. Well done, Delango Kitsune. Love that.
This next one.
Yeah, Dudecraft 4 presents the spin wheel from another perspective.
Oh, exceptional. You've correctly identified the monster silhouettes that are visible on the brand new spin wheel, which I think were inspired in some part by the artist, the talented artist who worked on the spin wheel glow up. Some of that artist's favorite monsters are featured here.
Some very cool ones. That artist also coincidentally did a lot of the art for My Singing Monsters Composer.
That's right.
They did the Composer stage, I believe, and a lot of the menus and stuff.
Fun fact. A very talented artist here.
And also some Jammer splash artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, Toe Jammer. All right, next up from Har239, it's Rare Stog.
It's an exceptionly...
It's winking!
I love it. But not where you'd expect it to be winking from. The face. Oh, so not to get into semantics here, but is it a wink if more than one eye is open?
Yeah,
As long
I'd say
as
so.
One of the eyes is open, I'd say.
Did we discuss? I feel like we discussed this on an earlier episode. What constitutes a wink?
If wink blinks, is it
a wink?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That makes sense.
Yes. All right. Next up from Night Vibes.
Night Vibes.
A rare Stog prediction and a rare Flugel prediction.
Oh, I love both of these monster designs.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Really cool colors on these guys too.
Yes. This rare Stog looks especially nimble. It looks like it would be able to move around and scuttle a lot faster than necessarily the relatively slow-moving Stog works.
Very well done. This next one is adorable from This Just Happened. This is a rare Rapatillo prediction, and the little orbs that you see at the end of their hands are how it makes its sound. So kind of like a gas, it taps the orbs.
Oh, so unlike the common Rapatillo, which makes use of its resonant scales along its belly.
Yeah, perhaps they're scaly orbs.
Oh, I love that.
Very cool idea. Next up from Fire Pea Shooter LMD, we have another rare Stog idea.
Oh, very cute.
Very train-like.
Yes. The going in the opposite direction of the rare Stog, it's got less eyes than normal.
Very funny.
It's got only the one eye.
And cute colors. They were right about green.
That's right. Well, thank you so much to everyone who submitted monster pieces. We'd love to take a look at these, and especially now that rare fire element monsters are a thing. They're out there. We've established that they exist. We want to see even more of your predictions about upcoming fire rares as more and more discoveries are made in the monster world. And of course, epic monsters. There's still also a ton left to discover on that front as well. So you know what? There's no better time to be a monster handler than now.
That reminds me, actually, that Har239, who drew the current rare Stog, said that every time a new fire monster, rare, comes out, that they're going to draw it.
Oh, I love that.
So looking forward to those.
What a devoted community artist. Thanks so much, Har239.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're getting right up to the end.
It's almost giveaway time.
Of today's episode.
We'll need Eric to please draw our giveaway winner and drop that in my fancy little document here. And what again are they winning today?
Today you'll be winning, in living picture and color, a rare Stog. Now, normally I'd say you can place it on any of the monsters. No.
You could place it on a monster.
I could place it on any of the islands where the monster appears. But of course, Stog is native only to Firehaven. So make sure, if you don't already have it, that you grab Firehaven this weekend in My Singing Monsters, so that you can take advantage of this, the first ever fire element rare to be discovered and released in the monster world.
So we're still just waiting for Eric to drop that.
Oh, Eric.
What's your favorite thing about Eric? He's a hard worker.
He's our #1 video boy.
You know what? I give him a hard time about his puns, but they're so clever that you can't go wrong with Eric.
Do love the puns. Eric's always good in a crunch. Eric has saved our hide on the audio front many a time.
He's a technical whiz kid.
He is a technical whiz kid.
And he's a good all-around guy.
And I believe
he's got it.
Oh,
it's been chosen. No, it's gone. There it is.
We've got it. All right, we've got our giveaway winner this week.
I will do.
Would you like to do the honors?
No, I want you to do the honors,
okay.
and I will do the drum roll.
Sounds good. And the winner is Tater a Teeter 7755.
Congratulations, Tater a Teeter.
Tater a Teeter.
Tater a Tear.
Tater a Tear. Oh yeah, Tater a Tear.
Tater a Tear 7755.
Yes.
Did we do that correctly? We don't know. But it doesn't matter how we pronounce it because you are the winner of the Rare Stog giveaway.
So please whisper message us on Twitch with your friend code for MSM for My Singing Monsters, and we will deliver your Rare Stog to your mailbox next week.
It's that easy.
It is.
So, what have we got? We've got one more thing to do that we usually use to
Every
cap
week.
off these episodes of
Yes.
My Singing Monsters Live. Is we've got another composer piece that was submitted to us, and this one is, you know,
You don't sound too excited.
no, it's a beautiful composition. I do take some exception to the name of this particular piece. This is Stumped Island. So
I got stumped this week,
is this an island where I will be trapped forever in some sort of purgatorial state if I'm unable to answer the correct number of trivia questions? I hope not. I hope that it embodies the spirit of Stumped, that the community is able to provide such
The
great
spirit of
questions.
knowledge.
Exactly. That the community is able to provide such great questions that consistently stump the monster handlers, specifically myself. So, you know what? I've changed my mind. I love Stumped Island. I love the name.
Too.
And here it comes right at you. This was submitted by a user at Traper Plush.
Yes.
So please enjoy Traper Plush's Stumped Island. And until next time, happy monstering!
See you on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Hello there, viewer in YouTube land. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I know I did. Got some more over here that I think you might like. Be sure to subscribe, then you'll be notified as soon as they go live. You'll be able to enjoy them. We'll be able to enjoy you enjoying them. It'll be great. And as always, happy monstering.